Hello, welcome to a live brought to you by Flight Attendant Career Connection. I'm Abbie Unger. I'm the owner and founder of Flight Attendant Career Connection, and I'm excited that you're here watching with me live, or if you're watching the replay, I appreciate that too. I'm here today to shed a little bit of light and send a little encouragement your way regarding the flight attendant interview, application, assessment. Okay, so not every airline does an assessment, but for a while a lot did, and then they sort of replaced it with a video interview, and now they've sort of added it back. Now, yesterday, Delta Airlines started accepting applications for flight attendants who speak English only, and so there was a big sprint towards that, and they also started sending out assessments. Now, I do not know anything about the technicalness of when you get an assessment, how you get an assessment, who sends you the assessment, what to do if your assessment doesn't work, what to do if you didn't get an assessment, what to do if you did get an assessment. I don't know about the technical stuff. But I'm here to talk practically about you completing an assessment. And I'm not going to talk about Delta specifically. Well, I will talk about them a little bit, but this is not specifically for Delta. This is for the assessments that you will be tasked with as you continue to pursue the flight attendant career. So an assessment is basically usually a personality type test. It will gauge if a computer thinks that you have the right personality, if you're sort of wired in the right way, that you would enjoy being a flight attendant. That's what they're testing for. So I want you to take a minute, everyone that's freaking out about the assessment, and ask yourself, do I have the personality that would make me happy as a flight attendant? Am I outgoing? Do I enjoy people? Do I like a varied schedule? Am I flexible? Am I dependable? Do I like to do the right thing? Do I enjoy having a set of standards? Do I like leading? Yes, self, I do. Well, congratulations. You now know in your brain, you can be confident in yourself that you will be happy as a flight attendant. That's what this test is trying to do too. It's not something to try to beat. It's not something to try to trick, and it's not something to try to figure out. When you start to try to figure out how to answer it, or I don't know what they want me to say, whenever I get emails that say, I don't know what they want me to say, you know what my answer is? The truth. I don't know what they want me to say. They want you to say the truth. I don't know what to say. The truth. Answer with the truth. And here's why. We've already established that your personality, your experiences, the way you're wired will make you a good flight attendant and will allow you to enjoy that career. If that is truly the case, then you don't need to figure out what they want because you are what they want. So telling the truth is the right answer. That being said, sometimes people who I know will make great flight attendants, who they know they'll make great flight attendants, who have been great flight attendants and are currently great flight attendants, sometimes don't proceed past that assessment step. There's a couple reasons why that can happen. First of all, they could be not on their A game. Second of all, they could be trying to trick the system, trying to figure out what they're supposed to say, trying to cover all the bases. And then the third thing that can sometimes kick you out, make you not progress to the next step, would be inconsistencies. Okay? So let's talk about those three things to sort of prepare for, to make sure that these things that are not us don't trip us up, because we know that we have what it takes. So we're not trying to trick it. We're not trying to figure out what it needs, what it wants. We're just trying to figure out how we could be fully ourselves, because we've already established that we are it for the job. So how you can show up and be fully yourself and have that be translated over to your assessment. So the first thing is I want to make sure that you are feeling your best self. Okay. And what I mean by that is, there's this saying, my dad, he's a pastor, he says that you should never have an important conversation, that you should halt to make sure and check these things. I don't know how he says it. It's way better. But basically, it's before you have a important conversation. And halt stands for hungry, angry, lonely, tired. So before you do the assessment, you should halt and make sure you're not hungry, lonely. Okay, that can happen sometimes. We don't feel our best, outgoing, fun-loving self when we're feeling lonely. Hungry, I skipped angry because I can't spell. Angry, that's the A. Hungry, angry. If you're mad, you're not going to be your best outgoing self. So shake it off, take a deep breath, put it away in your brain. Try to kind of get rid of it. Hungry, angry, lonely, or tired. So rest if you need to rest. Don't worry about taking the assessment as soon as possible. If you stay up all night so you can take it as soon as you get off work at midnight because now it's done and you failed it because you were tired and you weren't your best self, that's worse than sleeping and waking up and taking it 12 hours later and passing, right? Right? So we want to make sure that you are rested, okay? Don't do it when you're tired. So hungry, angry, lonely, and tired. Angry and lonely are harder to solve than tired and hungry, but be aware of it. Halt before you take your assessment. Make sure that you're feeling your best self because these are personality based. Make sure your personality is ready and it's not hiding or stifled or hurt or hungry. Okay? So that's the first thing. That's the first thing. So you want to make sure. So sometimes it can just be you're hungry or you're not. Okay. The other thing is figure out what they want you to say. Okay, trying to figure out, you're overthinking everything. What do they want me to say? I'm overthinking everything. No, you need to go with your gut, okay? Go with your gut. I mean, be wise, but go with your gut. What's your first instinct? If it says, do I smile all the time? This is the one that I get. It wants to know if I smile all the time, and I don't always smile all the time. Not everyone smiles all the time. When my grandma died, I did smile. Okay. All right. Yes, that's true. Okay, so technically you don't smile all the time, but has anyone ever said to you, good Lord, you smile all the time? Yes, right? So you can kind of confidently answer that question. Yes, I smile all the time. Why? People have told me that. I feel like I do. They're not asking you, did you smile when your granny died? Because I'm not asking you because you're heartless. That's not the question, right? You smile all the time. The next, so that's the third thing that can trip people up is inconsistencies, okay? And they on purpose will ask the same question worded lots of different ways to test your consistency. And this is how you can tell if you're trying to trick them. Because trying to trick them will cause you to inconsistently answer the questions. So basically, you need to continue to stay consistent with who you know. Don't second guess yourself. Stay consistent with your answers, consistent with your gut. So they will ask like leadership questions like 35 different ways. Are you a leader? Do you find yourself having leadership tendencies? When there's a group around, are you the one that finds yourself in the leadership position? Are you usually nominated to take the lead when working on projects? So they'll ask you it 35 times. By the end, you're like, I don't know if I've ever led in my life. Why do they keep asking me? Do they know something I don't know? And it can like get in your brain. But no, it's just the question. They're asking you to make sure that you can consistently answer so that you're not masking your personality, that you're just being you. So tell them every time that you're leadership. A couple basics just because the things that they're looking for. All right, good flight attendants. What makes up a good flight attendant? Someone who is focused on customer service, who loves people, someone who is a leader that can work without having a supervisor over their shoulder. They can complete tasks without supervision. Someone who's a leader who can lead groups of strangers through the jungle after a plane crash if necessary. Someone who really likes rules. Rule followers. Oh my gosh. Flight attendants, rule followers. Because that is what your life will consist of. Understanding rules, explaining rules, informing people of rules, writing reports about how people don't follow the rules. Rules is a lot of rules. So people who enjoy rules, that is something they're looking for. Someone who is honest, enjoys following rules, enjoys it when other people follow rules. Rules. They also look for people who are big team players, teammates. Got to be a team player. And then they're always looking for people who will do the right thing no matter what. That the right thing trumps everything. Now, safety, yes, but safety is not really very often in the assessment because this is more a personality test. So instead of asking questions about safety, they'll probably ask questions about doing the right thing and integrity. So that's just a little bit of an overview of how you can do good on the assessment. So I'm going to go back to my original question. Ask yourself, self, do I know that I have what it takes to be a good to be happy as a flight attendant, to be a successful flight attendant, and to be an asset to the company that I'm interviewing with. Self, yes. You'd be a fantastic flight attendant. All right then. There you go. You've got everything inside you to pass the assessment. Don't let a past assessment failure, a past face-to-face failure, your second neighbor's mom who's a pilot who one time took an assessment that he didn't like, bust your confidence. You can do it, okay? If you've been excited to do this, you have probably passed the first step. Not always, sometimes it is a step, but a lot of times it's the second step. So you're already on your way down the trail towards getting your job. My phone is being weird. So I'm excited to see how this next round of assessments from W and Delta goes. Again, I know nothing about the technicalness. If you lost your link, I don't know. I don't have an email. I don't know anything about that. I'm sorry. Delta will be able to help you maybe. But I can help you hopefully feel a little bit more confident, a little bit more comfortable, and a little bit more sure of yourself as you go and you take your assessment. Don't let the assessment be the roadblock that keeps you from moving on towards your goal. I will talk to you later. Have a great day.